As mentioned earlier, the food was unappealing, it was bland, tasteless, it was really not nice. Come with me as I review our very first time ever on Singapore Airlines Economy Class, where we took both the Boeing 787-10 midnight flight to Perth and evening flight back to Singapore with Muslim meals. But before that, a little bit of backstory. Months before this flight, I told my wife that we will be taking Scoot Plus to Perth for her birthday trip, which she believed. I even had to lie to the Grab uncle about it.
Sorry, which airline you taking?
You can just stop us in the middle because we are not going to the terminal to take the airline.
But when I broke the news that we will be taking SIA, she was as excited as I am, as it is both our first time.
We're taking SIA to Perth.
We did. No, you see Scoot.
Surprise!
Hearing good reviews and watching lots of YouTube videos on SIA, we wanted to find out ourselves. The check-in process to boarding was smooth. We collected our earpiece before being greeted by the friendly crew.
Thank you. Yes, we are 70 in.
First impression of SIA is a sophisticated blue-grey corporate theme look with 3x3 seating configuration, and as it was Christmas week, the plane was decorated festively. On our seats were a blanket, a pillow, plenty of storage slots, a foldable table with a mirror, buttons for reading lights, a cup holder, a USB port, and a seat hook. It features a 6-way adjustable headrest, very cool. It also features a standard 32-inch seat with 11.6-inch HD touchscreen display. The touchscreen display was pretty responsive, though it doesn't really feature external plane cameras like Emirates does. Soon later, we were given hot towels, but the hot towels were not very scented, so that was quite disappointing. The aircraft also doesn't have individual air vents. Soon the pushback took place on time and the safety video comes into play. An hour into departure, meal service starts, which took me by surprise as it was 1 AM by then. We had booked for Muslim meals prior to boarding and the food was, well, so-so. I did love the pudding though. But as you can see, I was excited for the metal cutleries. After the meal was over, they dimmed the lights for us to get some rest, and soon enough, we landed over at Perth safely and on time. First SIA flight experience rating, 8 out of 10. However, as for our trip back home from Perth, things took a slight change. We had booked ourselves seats 72E and G, but at check-in, they told us that we have been shifted to row 42 instead, at the forward seat, where we are going to be seated with families with children. We didn't mind moving forward, thinking it was a good shift. Upon boarding, we were given welcome drinks and some peanuts. Seat-wise and features were similar as previously mentioned, but again, no individual air vents, and the face towel was rather disappointing because there was really no scent at all. Eventually, we took off on time and the meal service starts 1 hour right after takeoff. But guys, well, the Muslim meal was, very disappointing. So a flight back from Perth to Singapore wasn't really as good as we expected to be. As mentioned earlier, the food was unappealing, it was bland, tasteless, it was really not nice. The other thing I wanted to add on was the fact that everybody else in the flight had desserts given to them. They were given ice cream. So for me, my wife, we were actually expecting an ice cream too after our main meal, but unfortunately, after waiting for quite some time, we were not given any ice cream. So we thought that probably is because the ice cream was not halal. It might have contained, alcohol. So hence we were actually waiting to be compensated with something else. However, we then realized that we were not given anything else right after, and that was actually quite disappointing because I was looking forward to the ice cream to compensate for the lack of taste in the main meal. The other thing I wanted to add on is that there was a lot going on at the front end of the cabin, especially because there were many kids and some of them were crying, throwing tantrums. So the crew were really busy trying to kind of get things sorted out, and because of that, tray collection service was delayed. I had to actually go to the lavatory. So what I did was I had to actually carry the tray myself, fold in my table, and then stand up, walk over to the crew right in front, pass it to her, and then eventually go off to the lavatory. And I felt that it's really unusual, especially for Singapore Airlines. So in overall, would I take Singapore Airlines again? Well, maybe. That is if they improve their Muslim meals. Well, actually, right after I touched down, they did send in an email asking for feedback, and I have actually given my feedback about the Muslim meals, but I had not received any response from them. So then again, I'm a bit disappointed with the lack of follow-up. But other than that, if I were to travel with Singapore Airlines again, I might have to consider non-Muslim meals, which also means I am limited to certain types of meals, like maybe seafood, vegetarian, and I'm not sure how it would taste like. Then again, I really hope that Singapore Airlines can fix their Muslim meals to ensure that it's standardized across different flights and different destinations, so that the experience for Muslim meals, even though we are a minority, is fair and justified. So with that, thank you so much for watching this vlog, and I hope you guys will enjoy your next flight on Singapore Airlines.